The final word.
The final word.
The final word, man. Defensive line.
Yeah.
Defensive line.
All kind of little choices now. We got Big Hank back. Big Hank back. I like that.
Hank.
Big Hank.
Smoking it all season. The Yacht Boys smoking it all season.
Brought like five defensive players back in the added one. I like it.
If you like it, I love it.
There it is.
I ain't gonna even lie, man. Can I be honest?
Be honest.
Get it.
These Cowboys got me talking cash.
Yeah, they do. They drink. They got you drinking a lot of Kool-Aid.
Hey, but we deserve it though, man.
Hey, he put 2 packets of red in there this time.
No, he put 17 packs.
Man, I'd have put the oranges in there. Listen, you ain't even serious and
he let that
the oranges in there, lemons.
Yeah, he letting it fermentate. He letting it stay overnight, sit outside in the sun
with no drink.
Wasn't that on
the sangria, baby?
Pouring all that sugar in there.
Hey,
man. Y'all.
Hey, but am I drinking Kool-Aid though, for real? Or am I?
I mean, it's good. It feels good to finally feel this way. That's what I feel. I can say it feels good to finally feel like the Cowboys are. I feel like they were trying to do things, but they said, you know what, we got the opportunity. Let's go ahead and make some moves. That's what I like.
Yes, that's the part. That's it right there. See, because I was thinking this. I was getting some groceries today, man. I was getting some raisins, man. You know, talking too much about my business. Let me chill.
So get some fiber.
Yeah, you know, you gotta just sometimes, you know what I'm saying, take care of the old man, the temple, you feel me? But hey, but for real, I was getting some raisins at the grocery store, and I was just like, this don't seem like the Dallas Cowboys that we like to build for the future and take care of now. This feel like now.
Right.
The final
to big
about
point.
Damn time.
Right.
Yeah, it feels now.
So you know what I want to say right now, before we get started, before we really roll this thing out. I think a mistake would be to also go into the draft not thinking that. So don't go into the draft thinking about future. Think about, if you're trying to contend for next year, think about next year.
The final word.
So
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
There's a way to do both. I agree.
See, but I don't want to do both. And see, let me tell you what I mean by that, DMV. It's gonna sacrifice the future if you really thinking now. You know what I'm saying? Because if we thinking future, defensive end makes sense. Because after next year, defensive end gonna be depleted with a lot of contracts expired.
Right.
The final word.
But if you thinking now, if you thinking now, tackle makes sense and guard makes sense, because you need to repair that line and get that committee, running back by committee, something to have in front of it. So it affects the strategy. So anyway.
The final word.
Yeah, we can talk about that, or we can just, you know, crank up the show.
Go get that receiver too.
That too.
I have a feeling they ain't gonna really be messing with that receiver all like that now.
I do too.
Oh man, I'm happy.
I feel like they really. Because I'm hearing that they're gonna try to bring back T.Y. Hilton too.
I just wanna can we check or something? I don't really in the film
T.Y. Hilton, dog?
Yeah, we said that.
You can, because he gonna be hella cheap. You know, he ain't gonna cost no money. And he likes it in Dallas. He wants to come back.
It makes sense.
I'm gonna be mad.
And if it was up to me, if it was up to little old me to make a pick, it would probably go a little something like this. And with the 17th pick of the 2020 Dallas Cowboys NFL draft, the Dallas Cowboys select.
Dreams about CD, man. I would have went crazy in Vegas. Oh, you would draft the CD while I was in Vegas, bro. That pandemic stopped me.
Say, man, I ain't gonna lie.
We would have had CD and Future. coming out with an album.
They had CD and Diggs and a future album drop.
The smart thing would be to move down, but the Cowboys historically don't.
Boss could be a trade down here with Justin. We got to trade. We got to trade. We got to trade. We were just sitting here talking Justin Fields.
Man, we got to talk about that. I can't wait till you get back.
Go hard, or go home. Go home. Go hard, go hard, or go home. Go home. Go hard, go hard, or go home. Go home. Go hard, go hard, or go home. Touchdown like the end zone. When the circle turn to my home, can't get me out of my zone. Go hard, or go home. Go.
I love Parsons as a rush defensive end, right? If you draft him and you put him on the
this
end,
the same stuff he's saying about Andre Carter.
Let him rush the quarterback, get upfield, create damage to the other opposing offense.
We got the pick.
He right,
we
though.
got
That's
the
what I'm
pick.
saying.
Yeah, this gotta be Parsons. Like, Parsons the best player available.
See, this one thing about
They was mad at me about them tweets the other day, bro.
He was going at you. Hey, man, the OC don't play about his takes. Hey, but check this out. This is the thing that he was saying about Carter, and I can't wait till he get back. He was talking about him being moved around like young Anthony Barr. You know what I'm saying? So I want to really, but it made sense, and I could see it in the way they was using him. You know, so it's gonna be about that development. But man, I can't wait. I want him to make the case. I'm gonna sit back.
He can do all of it. He can block. He can run routes. He can.
We talking tight.
Oh, this is Philly right
The
here.
race car like a target and call filling up. I need product again. Treat the business like a playground. Might slide on you. Don't even on my foul. Do a backflip cause I'm mad rich. I'm the definition of what that is. Go hard, or go home. Go home. Go hard, go hard, or go home. Go home. Go hard, go hard, or go home. Go home. Go hard, go hard, or go home. Touchdown like the end zone. When the circle turn to my home, can't get me out of my zone. Go hard, or go home. Go hard, or go home.
Oh man, go hard or go home. So you said we talking tight end, DMV. So this is the thing. I was listening to DMV, and y'all know I've been a terrorist against tight end, right? I'm gonna play this clip because DMV, he really raised a good point. I want us to kind of talk about it if y'all don't mind, just real quick. Check this out.
What they feel about the tight end room, because Dalton Schultz got away for $6 million and $2 million in incentives.
Yeah,
I think they feel like the tight end room isn't as important as everybody else is trying to make it seem. I think everybody else is just throwing stuff out there because they think that Dalton Schultz is bigger than what he really was. But in my opinion, he was holding up snaps because when he was out, we didn't miss a beat. Matter of fact, both of those guys, Hendershot and Ferg, held us down, and we still were winning games. And they were blocking. They actually, I think that the Cowboys told you.
And see, you know he was serious when he started his off shaking his head. Look. You know he was, you knew it should have been deep. When he started off like that, I said, wait. Look. Hey, and then he did this. But when the dude do this, boy, you know, he finna go. Hold on, let me look at it one more time.
Cowboys told you.
Hold on, look.
Hey, I had to get my breath together, bro.
All right, man. So now that was a super good point, DMV. Like, and you raised it from the standpoint of the way that they let him get away for so cheap really showed a reflection of their thoughts of the tight end room. So I want to first start with you and then go around the table on that because that was a good point.
Yeah, so the reason that I thought about that was like when we found out he was a Texan for 1 year, I'm like, all right, cool. So when the contract negotiations or like when the deal broke, it's just like, that's it. Because what he went for was a lot cheaper than what the franchise tag was. You know, a lot of us, we spent a lot of time talking about, man, he on a franchise tag for $10 million, $11 million or whatnot, but they let him go for about half of that. So it has to make you wonder, because that's a Stephen Jones special right there, if they thought so highly of him. The reason, I mean, Dalton Schultz to me seems like a guy that you would let go hit the market and then you find out what it is and then you can match that. It didn't seem like they had that energy. And from what I understand too, Dalton really wasn't that much of a hit in the locker room like that either, from what I understand. But I mean, outside of that though, it might just mean that they're comfortable with what we have. And it's very consistent with what they did with the receiver position the 2 times that they said we're going to try and do it by committee. The difference is we got 2 young lions that can step in there. So,
yeah. So, Big, we always start off with you. So obviously, man, what's your thoughts on that? I know just want to get your thoughts on what he was talking about.
I mean, I feel DMV 100%. I mean, I've been feeling that same way. This is my thing. In 2019, Dalton Schultz was drafted in the 4th round by the Dallas Cowboys, right? Mm-hmm. Last year, Jake Ferguson was drafted in the 4th round. Right. So to me, that signifies your replacement, okay? Mm-hmm. So that signifies they're moving on from you, and then you happen to get another tight end undrafted who would have been drafted had he not had those things over his head. So you really got a player in Hendershot that would have been a higher drafted tight end and probably would have went to somebody else and would have played significantly if he didn't have the off-field issues, right? So you got 2 quality tight ends. Then the year prior for you getting Ferguson, you got McEwen, who we were all saying, hey, let's see McEwen, because in those little bit of snaps that he got, we were like, we kind of like this kid, right? So let's see what he's looking like. We were frustrated when he got hurt in the preseason because we wanted to see more of him. So I agree with DMV is, I don't know where they're jumping up and down saying all of a sudden we need this tight end, we need this tight end. Now, before they drafted Dalton Schultz in 2019 in the 4th round, the last time they drafted a tight end high was in the 2nd round, was in 2013, and that was Gavin Escobar, may he rest in peace. But did he turn out good? No, he didn't. So I don't, about the tight end position, they want to draft a tight end early and those things of that nature. I just don't see it, because in the history of the Cowboys, I haven't seen them drafting tight ends high. And so that doesn't make sense. And it sounds like to me maybe more of a smoke screen more than anything when you already got quality guys.
Sound like smoke screen.
Yeah, and me and DMV spoke about this. Yeah, if they value Dalton Schultz, they could get him for half the price of they franchise tag. And I remember this time last year, I didn't personally understand the purpose of the Dallas Cowboys franchise tagging Dalton Schultz, because I was like, listen, Cowboys Nation, I'll promise you I'll get you another one in this year's draft. There were so many. Yeah. And then you kind of heard the conversations come out like we spoke about with Kyle Ullman, that Mike McCarthy was excited to get Trey McBride, who was my favorite in last year's class. So he wanted him. So there was so many different options I never really understood, except just kind of bring some continuity when it comes to Dak's offense, because you lost Amari Cooper, you lost Cedric Wilson, you didn't want to lose Dalton Schultz as well. But as far as replaceable, he was extremely replaceable last year, and I feel like this year is even more, because now we saw what the young guys can do if they're given more opportunity. So this is my whole conversation, Cowboys Nation. Y'all know I love the tight end position, but I'm satisfied. You know what I'm saying? Like, every time I do draft content, what are the first positions I'm aiming for? I'm aiming for tight end and I'm aiming for safety. This year I ain't dropped, you know what I'm saying? Like, because we are good. We are set at both positions. So I just don't understand where this urge is to press at the tight end position, especially at the 26th pick. I don't see where it's coming from.
Nah, that make all the sense in the world, because I've been on attack on tight end. But you know what I really love, the fact that also we got some support now. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The fact that David Hellman came out, wrote a real detailed article on just the history of tight end itself, So looking at that, looking at all the people, that's to me starting to catch up to what we was talking about. And I'm not saying that he got that from us. I just think that it's a situation to where if you go back and look at it, it's not even just this year's candidates, it's how it usually plays out. So it's one of those things that in an all-in season, what David Hellman was saying is generally, even when you get these tight ends in the 1st round, it take them about 2 or 3 years to maybe even get their legs. So we need somebody that's going to have a major impact. So I just don't see it. But DMV,
now,
you also go ahead.
Let's go ahead. I was going to say the only real reason I would push back a little bit with Dalton Kincaid is because you're not viewing him as a tight end, you're viewing him more as a wide receiver. then I would understand it. But anybody else, I still don't see 26 pick being a value drafting a tight end. But like if you view Dalton Kincaid as kind of your taller wide receiver, that's really what he really is, then maybe I can understand it from that standpoint. But just with this year's class going that early at 26, there's tons of different prospects you can get in later rounds if you need to fill that tight end room up. So.
And I feel you on that. The only pushback that I'll push to your pushback is usually, even if you have them as an offline tight end, I don't just think the matchups is what it used to be. See, back when the linebackers was more bulky, then Whit and them used to be able to take advantage of that. Now they starting to come out with more, in my opinion, big nickels, and they're countering with the right type of linebackers, more athletic linebackers. And I don't think they getting off like they used to. And teams are doing stuff like matching up coverage guys against them too. So like, what do we do when we play tight ends that we fear? We go take Curtis and we say erase them. You know what I'm saying? And that can be even Cox this year if his knee is okay. You know what I mean? So we built for linebacker and safety to counter them type teams. And I think a lot of teams are building against tight ends. That's why I think the trend is going down and not up. You know what I mean? I think we've adapted.
Yeah, and I agree. I'll say that the one thing with Kincaid, though, they played him at the X wide receiver slot too at Utah. So, you know, he played a lot. He was pretty much just a tall wide receiver, you know, for the most part. So
I like his hands.
I mean, he has it, but like the one thing I keep trying to explain to a lot of Cowboys fans about Dalton Kincaid, he's going to be 24 years old, y'all. Like, he's an older prospect. Like,
that's the thing.
He's an older prospect at 26. It's just too rich for my blood. Like, phenomenal talent, but it's just you can sit and wait. You can sit and wait because there's not a lot of separation. There's a lot of tight ends who we'll talk about here in a second that you can get day 2 or possibly even day 3 that can step in and still have some type of impact. But you don't need a tight end to come and have instant impact and, you know, and have this huge upside because, like we said, we got Furry, we got Hendershot, and you also got Sean McKeon. I'm perfectly fine with the tight end room. So. And
then I've been looking at your Georgia tight end. He growing on me, Tuck. He growing on me.
Who?
Bowers?
Yeah, he growing on me.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's next. That's next year. I thought you talking
but I'm just letting you know, bro. I've been watching film. I've been like, wait.
We'll have this this will be a whole different.
Just a little bit though.
Next year we'll be back to regular schedule.
We gonna fight this one though. We might fight this one. But you know what I was seeing in him? He a football player. Like he a different type of tight end. He not like he different. Like you can.
He don't got a position, bro.
You can put him in space.
He don't got a position.
I can see it, Tuck. I was over here like, here go Tuck with it. Then I kept watching. I was like, ooh.
Hey, I'm just chilling. I'm chilling this year, but next year we back. We back.
Big. DMV raised something real quick, big dog. DMV, we was talking on the phone, and he raised a good point. I didn't even think of this at all. He was like, hey, bro, what if with Atlanta basically trying to rebuild and get value, what if we traded 26, I know Tucker like this, so y'all get ready, for Kyle Pitts?
Oh, hell yeah.
You would do you would do it.
Oh, hell yeah. I would do that.
Talk to me.
The reason why I would tell you that is because that's a different situation. You're already getting somebody who's been in the NFL, who's played in the NFL, and showed you he can play. He's had 1,000-yard season already. You've seen the talent from him. You're not going to tell me if you traded your first-round pick of 26 and you brought in a Kyle Pitts, he doesn't immediately help your room because now you're flexing him with a Ferguson. You're still moving around. You still have Hendershot in the fold. Yeah, now you can get really tricky or how you really want to use that offense. It just opens the doors to kind of build the horizon of how you want to run that offense because now you can run multiple things and multiple sets with different guys, interchangeable pieces. Yeah, I'm definitely, if they said that Cowboys trade their 26th pick for Kyle Pitts, I'm gonna be like, let's do this damn thing.
I cry.
Easy.
You know I gotta go to Tuck, bro. Because
I would cry. When y'all remember that clip I always post on Twitter, man, when Dak was watching Kyle Pitts and he looked over his shoulder and said, Kyle Pitts,
I saw that.
number 8. He's just
hold on. Say it one more time, Tuck. I gotta show your face. You demonstrated.
Kyle Pitts, number 8. He's just You know what I'm saying? And Dalton, that's what I said. Dalton Schultz was out of Dallas at that point, man, because Dak was over there looking at Pitts like, I ain't never had me none of that before. That's how I feel like, you know what I'm saying? So, man, you can give up that Kyle Pitts, bro. This offense is gonna be godly, man. I would love for it to happen. Hey, I got 2 young corners I can toss in the bag. Let me know, Atlanta, what y'all need, man. I toss a little extra in the bag, you know what I'm saying, to make it sweet.
Y'all need surprise with that?
Yeah, man. I'm a little extra in there for it, but get a little boss band in there. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah,
and before you go, DMV, because you was the one raised that point, so you obviously should finish with this. Y'all already know where I stand on giving up 26 for Pitts.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Hey, that's fine. You can go ahead and say no all you want to.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, we got buttons too now.
I knew he was gonna have a button, boy.
What?
Yeah, let me. I'm trying.
It's all fake news. It's phony stuff. It didn't happen.
Yeah, y'all know where I stand on it now. Listen, if we did that, I wouldn't be mad. You know, I'm just talking. I wouldn't be mad. I am starting to fall in love with the ideal of tackle, but I would be like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? I would take it.
That's the all-in right now move. If you do
that would be aggressive as hell.
Yeah,
you shake the wall.
That's aggressive.
Yeah.
Because if you go get a Kyle, to me, if you got a Kyle Pitts, not to cut anybody off, if you got a Kyle Pitts, you saying, hey, yeah, we're trying to win it this year. That to me says it, because how does it not?
That does.
How does it not?
Yeah, it does.
How does it not say we're trying to win this year?
It screams. You know what it also
especially
screams?
if you got rid of your first round pick and they don't do that.
Right. See, because it says Jermichael Finley. But better.
I mean, you could do a lot of damn things.
He really could.
Yeah, I'm about to say this is a lot more than that.
Make Ferguson, them guys better. Yeah, go ahead, DMV.
I was gonna say, really, it scratches 2 itches, because if you are talking about getting a wide receiver playmaker plus getting the tight end to match with the other 2 young guys, bro, like we don't even gotta talk receiver no more. We really could just address the offensive line at that point. And I think we're good to go. I mean, sure, some running backs we'll talk about it later, or some of the things that we could do at the running back position, but I think Kyle Pitts would, man, that would be crazy. And the reason that I brought that up, though, is if tight end is such a need, if that's what everybody's talking about, they making all of these articles and all these mock drafts, well then why the hell wouldn't we take Kyle Pitts there? Because see, it's really a trap, because I'm really finding out what people really think about the position. You know what I'm saying? And where they really want to go with it. Because if you're willing to take Kincaid, who's probably older than Kyle Pitts.
That's what I'm going to say. Here's the fun fact of the day.
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts is 2 years younger than Dalton Kincaid.
Yeah, so if y'all willing to take Dalton Kincaid, who it'll be a first-round pick, and that would be a 5th-year option, you willing to wait till he's 31 years old before maybe sign him to a second contract where you got Kyle Pitts, who's already under a rookie contract? I mean, bro, it's a no-brainer. But hey,
and he's unproven. DMV. You bringing in a Kincaid who's unproven. He ain't touched his set foot in the NFL. So you just basing that on potential, where you already seen Kyle Pitts. You already seen what he can do. But that's a no-brainer at the 26th. If you're talking about tight, like you said, it makes sense, everything you just said. If you're really talking about tight end that bad, why in the hell wouldn't you go with a proven commodity instead of an unproven older guy? And that don't make no damn sense.
My boy Dave Walker gonna say, how we gonna pay him?
It don't matter. We'll worry about it later, man.
We'll figure it out later.
He on a rookie deal. He on a rookie deal. We got money. We got money.
I ain't got to pay him.
Hey, DMV, and you got the 5th-year option. You still got, so you got the option year too. So you can flex.
I ain't got to pay him.
You got 3 years. You got 3 years with him. You got 3 years, bro. And we got
3
money.
years. 3 years.
Nothing.
Yeah, trust the process, y'all.
Hey, trust the process.
I'm about to go get the Pitts shirts out the dresser, man. We about to.
Hey, man, when DMV said that, I said, "Oh,
let's start the movement, dog. Go get Pitts, bro. Go get Pitts.
I know Tuck go be like,
start the tweets. DMV, start the tweets. You know they listen to Twitter. They're listening to Twitter, DMV.
He's talking about the success rate of tight ends, man. My guy stepped in, got him a cool little 1,000 yards his first year without a quarterback Pro Bowl. You know what I'm saying? He stepped into all that. So, he's proven. And here's the crazy part. He is not getting used like he should be getting used in Atlanta. They have no plans for him at all. Right. I'm sitting back watching, if you're a fantasy football player, like, what? Like, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? They just not even looking his way, and he still got 1,000 before the injury. So it's like, you know what? If you can go ahead and say, they take that problem off y'all in Atlanta, we got it.
And you know Atlanta will love that first rounder. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, Tuck, throw in Kevin Joseph with that too. You know what I'm saying? For a young corner and 26. Go ahead and take him too. Take that 26 pick and let's make it happen. Start tweeting the hell out of this, y'all.
Y'all like veteran DBs.
Let's tweet the hell out of this and let us get it going.
And this the deal. This is a better idea. This is just a better idea. Like, so this is the whole point that DMV raised when he brought this to me. He was like, bruh, if I'm going tight end at 26, trade for Kyle Pitts. Get on the phone and try to make that call. Now, y'all know how I've been shooting down tight end. I don't think nobody has been as violent. I'm completely violent. I want the smoke. I want it. Bring smoke to me. I want it. And I was like, DMV. I was like,
because here's the thing, we are going into the draft with no major holes. You know what I'm saying? We really have no needs. So why not just go all in and stack up? And this would be that stack in move, man. Like this would change a lot in Dallas. You can talk about Bijan, you can talk about Kansas, you can talk about all these other prospects. Nothing will change the course that the Dallas Cowboys are currently on. If you go out there, you trade your 26th pick, and you go get Kyle Pitts. This is very similar to what the Eagles did last year with getting A.J. Brown, but even bigger. You know what I'm saying? So you can go up there, get a Kyle Pitts, bro, and the walls will shake. I guarantee you.
Hey, y'all gonna be mad at me, though. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all gonna be mad at me. Y'all ready? I know it. I already know.
You want answers?
I still can't take that over tackle, bro. I'm sorry. I just can't.
Well, what tackle? What kind of tackle? Defensive or offensive?
What tackle? Defensive or
offensive? I knew
offensive?
y'all ready to fight, bro.
Yeah.
But these tackles that's slated there.
You can fight. No, it'll be okay. It'll be okay, boss.
No,
it really
bro.
Will.
No. I'm not. See,
these offensive guys, all these offensive linemen are not going to be gone by 58.
Right.
Bro.
They could be, bro.
No, they're not.
Not all of them,
I'm
if the tackles are gone, we run into a good guard, bro.
That's true.
Right.
Likely.
There'll be somebody there at 58. There'll be somebody there at 58.
Y'all are risky. Y'all
gotta be risky, right? What do we what you just said, boss? You just said that we didn't like how Stephen Jones don't like being risky, and we always being conservative and conservative.
Yeah, don't get scared on me now.
I'm scared.
So now we getting risky. Now we not. No, we need to go ahead and do that because, like you said, this right now, if you do something like that, that puts you in the driver's seat. Everybody's going to take notice in the NFC East. They're going to take notice like, okay, what? The whole NFL is going to take notice because they're going to be like, yes, they're serious. Because you can freak somebody at 58 and you can get a lineman. You can still make that work. You can make that work.
Or you can go get a guy and a veteran close to camp. Like, bro, I'm not worried about no backup offense.
No, I'm trying to.
There's still some guards out there, bro.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, if you wanted to move Tyler Smith there, worst case scenario, you could still do that. Worst case scenario.
Nah, I wouldn't move him. I wouldn't move him.
I don't want to move him, but I'm just saying.
They don't even have a plan of where to put the tackles we got right now. So why you want to add more fuel to the fire? You know what I'm saying? They talking about putting Terrence Steele at guard. They don't know what they doing. We got more than enough tackles. Go get me Kyle Pitts, man. Hold on, man. You can see, boss, what y'all didn't do to me. I was going to talk defensive tackle today.
Let's talk defensive tackle. We'll fight about this. We'll fight about this later. Y'all get me going. Because all of this is
wrong.
I'm just hearing nothing but
I don't want to talk nothing
wrong.
else.
All I'm hearing is we won't.
Wrong.
It's all fake news. It's phony stuff. It didn't happen.
Not today.
All right,
Shout out to my
let's get
Texas
into this
bread,
defensive
man.
line. This is what people came to see. Hey, man, I appreciate it. My partner say shooting some love with a $10 super chat. Also, DeShannon talked about Hendershot and also Ferguson. So the panel, we all believe in those guys. We standing with you, DeShannon, on that with the super chat, man. We appreciate it. Now, I believe we gonna be fine. Just be honest with you.
Me too.
About to put a new patch on the back of them Aikman jerseys, man.
Man, hold on, bro. Y'all still on this, bro? Can we let this go, bro? Can we move on, bro? Can we move on, bro? Like, see, y'all got me back on it now. You got me back on it.
Hey,
see, you want it. See,
hey, Tuck, give him the 0, bro. Give him the 0.
Y'all doing too much.
If Fitz came over, he's 0.
Man, y'all doing too much, bro. I'm sick of it, bro. I'm
wrong. Lamb, Brennan Cooks,
Oh, you
Michael
see this guy?
Gallup,
See this guy?
Kyle Pitts?
Number one bullshit guy. He do the wee woo wee woo.
This ain't no wee woo over here.
I'll wee woo, whatever. I'll wee woo.
See,
that's the good wee woo.
All the way to Vegas. Mitch asks, this is a good question. We gonna come back to this though. My boy Jay Mitch asks, will it cost the first? See, that's what DMV was saying. They in a rebuild mode. They trying to get a bunch of picks more than they trying to be a contender.
It probably would cost the first, especially what he's already done in that short period of time, and he's young. Yeah, right. I wouldn't. If I was, I would not let him go. I would not let him go no less than a first, no matter what.
Because his name's so good. Like everybody still loves him.
And he's young.
He's young, so people still believe in him. I think right now it could cost you a first. But Jay Mitch, I'm with you, man. I'm smelling a little bit of.
No,
yeah, right. No, he ain't. No, he ain't.
I know he ain't.
No, he ain't. No, he ain't. No, he ain't.
No, he ain't. If it was any other year and them tackles wasn't sitting there, I would be all over y'all.
I don't believe you. You got the wee woo. Number one bullshitter. Wee woo.
Big one line when he say he gonna make his own horses. He was telling the truth.
The wee woo. Number one bullshitter.
Hey, I thought that was a sound though. I thought that was
that was big. No, that was big. Now check this out. So now we say people came here for the defensive tackle. So we gonna give y'all that business. Now, obviously Will McDonald been going around. You know, his name has been growing. Tuck, you did a breakdown on him, and I loved your breakdown. 33 sacks in 3 years is no slouch. That's production you cannot ignore. You cannot ignore that, right? The thing that makes a lot of us nervous is the fact that he looked like a bigger safety. Right. So Tuck, we gonna start it off with you, man, in the film session. You know what I'm saying? Just talk about it, man. You know, and then we'll just go around on it, and we gonna talk about him, other defensive linemen. Just take that name, put Tuck on it. It's Tuck.
The film breakdown.
The film.
Yeah, so Will McDonald, man, he's highly productive, as Boss just mentioned, 33 sacks in 3 years. At his time at Iowa State. And he can do a lot of things. And that very first play right there, what I was talking about in my film session, is just great leverage. He fires off low. He keeps his ground there. So he's able to battle in the trenches, but that's not really his game.
Hold on, Tuck, also, if you need me to pause or do anything, I'm...
Okay. All right, cool. I didn't know if you could control it. All right, cool. You can keep playing, though. You can keep playing. But the one thing I like a lot about Will McDonald is, one, his spin movement. They call him the Cyclone out there in Iowa State. But, you know, when you watch Dan Quinn, when he was training him, the drill that he likes to do a lot is run the hoop. And that's what Will does a lot. You'll see here in a few plays where he actually gets his sack, man. He bends that corner to perfection. And with this arm length, he's always getting the arm out. You know what I'm saying? So he's getting to the quarterback. And that's where a lot of those forced fumbles came from. So he is a technician from a defensive standpoint. Like, look how he slides down the line of scrimmage, be able to scrape properly. Like, he has very great instincts. The real knock on him is just, one, his age, and then also he's just not a super freakish athlete, but he can do a lot of things well. And he can stand up, he can drop back in coverage, he can slide inside. But like I said, me personally, I'm not a fan of him sliding inside, but he's high motor. Look at that pressure on that stunt. If you can go back to that, Boss, real quick.
Yeah,
it's that inside stunt move. Like, he's coming downhill with velocity and he opens up. for that nose tackle to get pressure on the quarterback. And so Dan Quinn likes to stun a lot. And so you have another high caliber player. And like you said, even though we have enough at the edge rusher position this year, if you're thinking futuristic from the Cowboys standpoint, you could be moving on from Dorrance Armstrong, DeMarcus Lawrence, what they're going to do with who they just signed, I forgot his name, Dante Fowler. So you got some question marks there at the edge position, but if you watch right here, once again, just bending the hoop and just getting his arm out to make a play on the quarterback. So I love Will McDonald, the fourth, man. He can do a lot of different things, and I feel like if the Cowboys can add him. Now, me personally, I feel like I have a second round grade on him, but I don't think he's going to be there at 58. So a lot of these edge rushers, when it comes kind of second cluster, I don't think they're going to get to 58. I don't think it's going to be like a situation with Sam Williams last year. So if you want to go edge and the Cowboys feel like that's a need of necessity, Will McDonald is definitely a prospect to keep our eyes on, because like I said, when Dan Quinn was training him at his pro day, his eyes lit up. You just don't go to an Iowa State pro day just for the hell of it, because they ain't got no other prospects. You know what I'm saying? So there was a reason. And just for that scrape right there, reading the read option, like very instinctual prospect. I love Will McDonald the fourth out of Iowa State. I would definitely take him.
Yeah, man, that boy is a technician. Because my initial thing,
they're running that hoop right there,
and then it's the hezzy with it, man. He hit balls with that hezzy, man. Man, that boy hit that ball with that foot. That he hit that hezzy right there.
The hands, he's getting that arm out. He always getting that arm out right there.
He put it together well. He coordinated.
Can we talk about that motor too, though?
Yeah,
high motor. And he
plays like a basketball player. If you watch him, he plays like a basketball player.
That's
like he's on the edge.
Yeah, you can see
because this play here, they slide him inside against Steve Avila. This ain't his strong point. You know what I'm saying? So he's not really playing no 3-tech.
But the fact that he'll go in there and do it,
he'll bang.
Hey, look at MJ. You say MJ Anderson make that play? That's my sleeper on the backside.
Yep.
Number 3.
He's a lot bigger too.
Yeah, but he's not afraid, like you were saying, James. Like he'll go in there and bang. That's just not his strong point. He just doesn't have that size to do that. But like I said, on the edge, man, he's lethal off the edge, and
they played a lot of 3-man fronts up there.
Right, they did at Iowa State. So yeah, I would definitely keep an eye on this prospect. If his name is called day one, I would not be surprised. Like I said, just kind of watching Dan Quinn, how he kind of had his eyes on him. And I saw that look, and I saw that same look last year when Dan Quinn was at Sam Williams Pro Day as well. So,
and you brought this out on your film session too, man. It's like the technical side on him is high, right? Because you brought out that leverage right here, and that he stays so low. Good job on that. To look at that size difference is crazy, but that leverage, you know what I'm saying? It's that leverage that caused him not to get pushed at the point. You know what I mean?
Those pads low, like I said,
he was low
breakdown. Yeah, we used to have the cage when we played. Yeah,
so
we used to have the cages when we played. Fire off under that cage, and so he did a good job on that play.
He's the type of pro that's going to get better as his career goes on. He's going to be one of those guys that at first they might be like, okay, he'll struggle against the run, but year 2, year 3, you'll be like, yo, this kid is an all-pro type player, a double-digit sack type guy. Like that talent, then it's a talent, bro. Like what he has is talent, and you add some weight onto him and get some NFL coaching and NFL offseason programs. You watch out for him, man.
Yeah, they run a 3-3-5. Yeah, and
you know what to say. The thing I like, what you said, Tuck. I feel like he's more of a second round as well, but I feel like the way the Cowboys, they drafted Sam Williams in the second because they felt like the same thing may happen with McDonald, that he wasn't going to get to a later round. I had a later grade on Sam Williams last year, and I feel like some other teams did, but they were looking at when he ran that 4.5, that was like, okay, you know what? We got to go ahead and get him now because he's not going to last because there's all those physical characteristics, and then he comes and runs that. I think what they're going to be looking like is that athletic ability, and it's oozing. I think it was a couple years ago. The Pittsburgh Steelers drafted Alonzo. I believe it was a Highsmith. I don't know his first name, but it came out of UAB. It was a little bit light. It took him a couple years, but you could see the potential. And now he's one of their stalwarts at the edge coming off for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think he brings that type of thing to the table, and I think that's why he won't go to, like you said, Tuck, like a 40 or 58. He won't drop that low because edge rushers are a premium. And speed is a premium. And the way these guys run in the NFL now, and you see how he can stand like that, you can use him in that 3-4. And that's why it's going to be tough. If you're going to pick him, do you let him go past 26? Because he's a multiplayer guy. And I think that's what teams are going to look at.
Y'all check this out before you go, Tuck. I got you, promise.
Yeah.
One of my favorite tidbits from draft weekend was when Jalen Tolbert told us that he got a phone call from Dak Prescott. I'm just curious, and we gave y'all a hard time on Friday night, and of course I'm not asking for like the list of guys that Dak called, but I am curious. Dak is such an asset to this franchise. He's the franchise quarterback. In this process, what is his role exactly? I mean, do you give Dak Prescott a list of guys you like and say, hey, we'd love you to do some work on this? Or is Dak more involved with that and the idea of like, hey, I like this receiver, like this is a guy that I'd love for y'all to focus on?
No, what we did was kind of gave Dak a couple guys just to look at and just so he knew what was in the draft. And I think it's important with him having the standing that he does within our organization and within our team is to kind of let him know how we do things and get his input on some things. And so I just felt in talking to him with his unique ability to communicate with everyone and to draw something from that was to use him in the, hey, give him a couple of receivers to talk to, get him on the phone.
Man, it's the wrong clip, man. I wasted.
I was like,
where the hell did this come from? I said, okay. I said, okay. You know what he's doing.
I dropped the ball. Okay. The producer dropped the damn ball. I'm trying to do it all. Y'all give me a break around here.
We rolled with you though. Feel good about that.
I was like, okay, so Will McDonald,
okay, where are you going?
Okay, yeah, we'll correlate this. We'll correlate this.
We gonna figure out how to make this dog swim. We gonna figure out. No, I'm gonna find this
correlated.
I thought I hit it too. I thought I was really showing out too. But
you were showing out in the wrong way.
But, I was showing out. But no, this is the deal. I'm gonna find it though because it's an important clip because it was actually supporting what you said. Big, where you was basically saying with Sam Williams, they had a grade on him that was equal to Tolbert. But what they did is they picked Sam Williams because they felt like he was gonna get away. And they felt like it was a better chance that Tolbert was going to be available.
He was going to get drafted.
Right. So you was just talking about that strategy, and I want to actually show everybody that what you saying was like dead on. But I just kind of, I just missed
It's all good.
Yeah. But I still want to find this though. But so elaborate real quick and give me about one more minute to find it, just real quick.
Yeah, and it makes perfect sense, too. Go ahead, James.
No, go ahead and elaborate. No, you got it.
Go ahead, Tuck.
James. Let's say, it makes perfect sense, right? Because sometimes you might have the same type of grade on a prospect, but will they get to you just because of position value or how deep that position is according to that draft? So, a lot of people got to understand, like Sam Williams, more than likely he probably been an earlier pick, but he had some off the field red flags as well. So that process is why he slid a little bit. So yeah, I definitely understand why Dan Quinn was like, you know what? Because remember, like we said a second ago, Trey McBride was the pick that they really wanted at that, 54 last year, in the second round pick, but he went the pick right before to Arizona. So they had Sam Williams up next. And so, it's just all about how the draft board slides a little bit and falls, but you got to be patient sometimes. But I feel like we are in a good situation, Cowboys Nation, where we can sit back and let Will McClay actually cook because there's a lot of talented prospects. But when you talk about the defensive tackles and defensive edge rushers outside that core, like 4 to 5, like there's guys who are kind of second round grades in my book, but they're not getting to us again. So you might have to go get them at 26 if that's a position of value. And that's, that's right. Go ahead.
Damn. Carlos Watkins signed to the Cardinals.
He with the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Damn.
Bye.
I just.
Right.
Well,
But you know what hurts me though? You know what hurts me though? You know what hurts me though?
Yeah.
Is every time I hear defensive tackle, it just pisses me off that we lost John Ridgeway. Just pisses me off because
I agree.
Just think if we had Ridgeway right now with
Right.
Bohanna, with Hankins, I feel good. And then I'm feeling good right there. Are we really talking about defensive tackle if you still have Ridgeway right now?
Right. Did they ever say why they officially moved on from Ridgeway? Which was odd.
Well, Tristan Hill had a great
had
camp, and then they end up cutting him.
Right. So
I thought they said that they had to keep Dak like on the roster.
Yeah.
Because his injury, so they had to release somebody, and they thought he could clear waivers,
and he did.
And they were stupid as hell to think he was going to clear waivers.
Yeah. Right. He was a fifth round pick last year, wasn't he?
Yeah, but you saw that damn potential, and then
That's what I'm
the
saying.
damn
Yeah,
Washington
he
damn
wasn't
Commanders
clearing
sitting
no
right there,
waivers,
always
bro.
watching all our defensive players. Washington always want to scoop.
Right. Yeah, teams are always going to take trench work. You know what I'm saying? Because we got lucky with Malik Davis. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, Cowboys were stupid.
And
with
Ridgeway
that
dropping to the 5th, I thought that was some good, man.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know
you
what
got a steal and you set it out there for free. You know what I'm saying?
He should have dropped Kelvin.
Right.
Hey, but real quick, back on Will McDonald real quick.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah.
What button you just hit?
I hit this one.
Oh.
No, you did.
How the hell we start hitting them buttons for?
At 26.
I don't want to do it at 26.
Yeah, I'm saying the only reason I would consider at 26 because I just don't think he's
probably going to be gone.
Yeah,
he's not going to be gone.
If Dan the man wants him and stands on the table, he went down to Iowa State and he was enamored by him, then I'm all for it, bro. That's how I feel about it. I feel you though.
I ain't mad.
Yeah, that means they saw something. They saw something they could use.
Dan.
Yeah,
have a seat. No, Dan.
Bro. Dan came back, bro. Dan got Dan. You know
the only way I would say that is because the only way I would feel with you, boss, is because of Sam Williams last year was drafted in the second and he didn't get a lot of time.
Right.
So if you drafted a defensive end in the first,
you're right.
What would
That's why
he would have to play a lot because Sam Williams had a lot of talent.
Right.
And he was not getting a lot of time at all, and he was a second-round pick.
Right. And that's what I'm talking about right there. That's it. Because that's why I said it's going to be choices that I feel like we got to make on an all-in year. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
That's a futures pick. You know what I mean? It's a good pick, but it's a futures pick. Like in an all-in year, because that's why I said in the beginning.
So is tackle, though.
No, now tackle is a now pick, in my opinion.
How's it a now pick?
Because we trying to get a starter right now.
We draft a tackle. Where's he gonna play?
Left, right now. And
they not moving Tyler Smith to left guard.
They call him a left side player last year. They wasn't just calling him a tackle. They was calling him a left side player.
I don't think he's gonna play guard, man. I want him to play guard. I also don't think they sold on him playing guard. They want him to play tackle for some reason.
Well, if this
depends on how it falls,
all the training camp he played guard. You know what I'm saying?
Right, I agree. Yeah, I agree. I agree.
So y'all don't like him? Y'all like him at guard better than tackle?
Me, I do.
You do?
I think
I like him at
upside.
I like him at guard better too. I like him better.
And what about you, boss? You like him at guard too?
It's hard, but yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's hard because he cold at both. He's Slater-ish. You know what I mean? Like where Slater could play both if you need it, he one of them. But I think he got that raw strength. Like his
natural home is a guard, bro. You can just plug him in there.
You want to know something crazy about Dallas and how they draft or how they find, like, it's been a lot easier for us to find left tackles than it has been for us to find left guards.
That's crazy, and you right. That is crazy, and you right. And see, and it's also in my opinion that this particular draft, in what draft do you have 7 tackles that are potential starters at the bottom? You know what I'm saying? The bottom of the first. We're in a rare place, and it's like Because put it like this, most people, they would say maybe it's 2 first-round guards. Would anybody agree with that?
I don't think there's a first-round guard. I don't have a first-round guard personally.
You don't have those. You don't have a.
Unless you count Skoronski.
Unless you count Peter as a guard.
Okay, so let's say then no, then that's one maybe, right, or none.
Right.
Okay, so if we saying none, I'm gonna say at least 2 could be in the conversation. Bottom of the first, right? That's just me.
Just pure guard.
Guard or a tackle.
Pure guard. But I was making a point.
Okay.
If it's only 2 guards, but we got about 7 tackles, likely what's gonna be right there at 26 with those numbers?
I mean, you got Johnson, Harrison, Wright, Jones, Bergeron.
I got it right here.
But I would rather get a real left tackle though, like getting DeJuan Jones.
Real left tackle.
I don't think DeJuan Jones is a left tackle.
So it's not tackle. It's purely left tackle, which y'all focus.
For me, it's left tackle.
For me, it's left tackle too, and I agree.
Y'all focusing on left tackle.
Yeah, for the most part. So can we go through this just a little bit? Paris, left tackle, right?
Yeah.
All right. So then we'll say Peter, left tackle. He played
left
guard.
Or guard.
He played both. So we got 2 left so far.
Right.
So then Antoine, left tackle.
That's
3.
Yeah,
Darnell Wright, left tackle. No, right. He's right. He's right. He's a right tackle. Then Broderick Jones, left tackle and guard.
Yeah, left.
Right.
Left guard.
Then DeJuan Jones, right tackle. But anywhere in the country, he would have been a left tackle. We know that. The only reason he was right tackle because Paris was the left tackle. Right. Anywhere else in the country, he's the starting left tackle, and we all know that. And if it's anybody that I would have the raw traits to trust to make the transition, it's a dude 6'8", 365, 374 with power forward feet. You know what I mean? And that was the steal of the Senior Bowl, right?
I just don't think the Cowboys would do that, y'all. I just don't think the Cowboys would do that. They would draft the left tackle because they're clogged up at that position right now because they believe in Tyler. They still haven't figured out what to do with Tyron. We know they're going to be hard-headed when it comes to Matt. Well, let's go. Like, I just don't think that they're going to go another left tackle. If they're going to go offensive line, I feel like they're going to go a guy with left guard that maybe gives you some position flex. I just don't.
And that person, and I
So
agree.
do you think they're going to do that, the Avila kid?
To me,
Avila's more guard/center. You have Cody Mauch.
It's Broderick
he
Jones.
plays guard and tackle as well, but it's just like.
But we're talking about, you know how the Cowboys do though, Tuck. When they bring you in, I look at them visits. Because when the Cowboys start bringing in the visits and start really talking to you, that means they're going to draft you. They like him.
Broderick Jones?
No, Steve Avila.
Steve Avila.
Oh, yeah.
They like him.
Yeah.
He's had serious
TMZ thing and everything. Yeah, Steve Avila. Yeah.
And he's going to be available to them.
Yeah, he gonna be available. He is.
He's going to be a guy that they think like we had a first round grade on him, but we got him in the second round.
Yep,
so we're happy.
I can see that.
Right.
And to be honest, I'm gonna be honest with everybody.
And he's a Texas boy.
I would actually accept that this year, even though I don't think he will be BPA. I think we got to be very serious about trying to protect that, very serious, like in terms of, because I was thinking
that's
about
what McCarthy's been saying.
Right. So McCarthy's been saying that, and this is what I've been thinking today, and I'm just being all the way honest. Tyler Smith gave up the most sacks. The problem with getting a tackle, the problem with my ideal is you reset the clock in terms of rookie. You put another rookie to protect that. Versus if you let Tyler Smith stay, he take likely that second year jump, and you more so saying we go take a risk with a new guard that we drafted. You know what I'm saying? Versus I want to actually move Tyler inside, strengthen that middle, especially getting ready to play San Fran against Hargraves, right? Just to seeing us on that rematch. And I think some of these guys are Tyler's Smith-ish, like Broderick Jones. I think Broderick Jones is the most ideal guy. We would be probably reaching a little bit with the other Jones, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we're changing him from right to left.
Yeah,
it's creative. It's creative, but it's risky. Where it would be like a fish in water would be Broderick. The one Jones, that's a little bit risky, but his freakishness is why I would take that risk.
And also, too, you got to really trust Duke Manyweather in the things that he says and working with him. Because Duke says he's a left guard. Duke says he's a guard, bro. And Duke has been defending his guy. He's saying Tyler is a guard. He's saying Tyler Smith is a guard. He said that a while ago.
Tackles. Then get these tackles, and then you know what? If we get one of these tackles, we basically set up Dak for the next 10 years.
But that's what I'm saying. I feel like, and Duke feel like Tyler Smith is a guard.
I do too.
The Cowboys don't see it that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
we got to talk them into it, Tuck. That's our job. We got to talk them into it. We got to talk them into it,
Tuck. What's that new offensive lineman coach like? What's he? I mean, what's he about?
They say he bad with rookies, bro. That's the word on the street.
But remember, Green Bay, they had this one lineman. I can't think of his name, but they used to move him from tackle to guard all the damn time. It was their best lineman over in Green Bay when Mike You know what I'm talking about?
Biarta? Biarta or something like that.
Yeah. Him. His name is weird. But that dude, and he was the best lineman for years.
He was a great position flex because he was a damn near all pro on both positions.
That's Tyler. Yeah. So see, when you got a player like that, and then you got a history of Mike McCarthy working with a player like that, that means you can get the best offensive lineman available, and then just trust that Tyler can make the transition. Straight up.
Right.
And then if we do that, you now have Tyron Smith at right tackle. You don't have to rush steal. Your left side is secure. Your running back room now has 3 first rounders, you know what I mean? And you're protecting that. You got all these dominoes that fall just because we got a guard or a tackle. Straight up.
Yeah.
So plus, I wouldn't take a guard. I wouldn't even trip.
David Bialkatari?
Yeah, that's
something like that.
But
that's what it was, Dave.
Yeah, that's him.
Whatever.
Yeah, but anyway, we supposed to be talking about defense.
Yeah.
Hey,
well,
but what we're talking about is real though.
Right, it's real situations.
What we're still talking about is relevant to what the whole draft is doing.
They're trying to do, right?
So
right.
And then also Steve Avila, he gives you the position flex of playing left guard and also center for backup capacity for Tyler too.
For Tyler next year.
And I'm telling you, and just like Tyler Smith was from Texas. He's Texas born. He takes pride in that.
Yeah.
So is Avila, and he's already said on record, I would love to just keep it here in Texas. And I feel like that means something. It meant something to Tyler. He took a lot of pride in that, and I feel like they like that too. You know, they're homegrown. They like those type things. That's why I feel like his name is really prevalent in what we're doing. But if you guys are saying that Duke is saying guard, and they get Avila, I wonder what happens then.
Get a tackle. Because if we just move,
but I'm saying if you're 26, they went and got Avila. What would be the thinking then from your guys' perspective? If you guys are feeling like, hey, he's a better guard, are they gonna push him back at tackle if they get Avila?
Now I feel like the Cowboys are going into the season that Tyler Smith is our left tackle.
I hope not.
That's what I feel like too. If they get Avila, that's why I feel like they're gonna push him back at left tackle.
Right,
because they talk about position flex too.
I'll be cool with it. I'll take it.
The best 5 is Tyron, Tyler, Zach, and Steele.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right now, as it is right now.
They got it all out of whack. Where it's like Steele could be the left guard. You know what I'm saying? They got.
I think
Tyron got to be your swing. I think Tyron got to be your swing going into it.
But we know how the Cowboys are though. They're not going to have Tyron Smith on this roster holding no clipboard. He going to be out there somewhere.
He get first dibs. You know he is. Tyron.
That's why. That's why you make him the swing. Until
right, but that's
what
they
let
Tyron go out how he wants.
No, I don't think so.
They are.
I'm gonna tell you what I think they doing.
You think they actually gonna have him come off the bench?
No, hear me out. I think they hustling him backwards. I swear, that's what they doing. I swear. So put it like this. If every time I drove my car up the street it broke down, And then you say, hey, I'm going to pay you based on how far that car goes. What are you saying? I don't want to pay you. Because guess what? We know your car likely go break down. Because they spending it like they paid him like a starter. No, when you pay him based on how much he play, you hustling them backwards. Because then you go let him start the season. Then when Steele is ready, you go move him to the bench. And you go say, man, we had to go with Steele because he better. That's go cut his pay. They hustling them backwards. They making them a right now promise to get him to start the season.
You got that Scottie Pippen contract.
Thank you. Yeah. And it makes sense. That's dirty business, but that's, hey, we paying you because we expect you to start. But we really expect to put somebody in front of you as soon as Steele is ready, and this go cut your money.
So Steven plotting for the money. Jerry leaked out the whole
Tyron said he ain't care about money, so obviously he don't care about money.
Right.
Yeah. But that contract, but they keep saying he took that contract because they expect him to start. It's like, nah, bro. I think they hustling them backwards, and I ain't listening to that because who basically start people over contracts? Come on, bro. Like, people do that, but not at this stage where he look like he going downhill and you got to rise and steal. You don't do that.
They did Lyle over Steele. Remember that whole conversation?
True.
Damn, bro, they treating Tyron like
you
TLC
like to
out
piss
here.
him. You like, damn, Tuck, I'm over here trying to have a good time. I'm over here hoping, and then he like, let me give you some reality, boss. Let me just give you that.
I mean,
I can't fight you on that, Tuck. That's true.
Yeah, that's the whole conversation we had. It's like they was going. This Lyle was their guy. He was getting paid.
And he was
the name.
paid, and they didn't go with cheaper steel, even though cheaper steel was better.
Damn, cheap steel sounds terrible.
Yeah, but who was out there hitting that table? Because somebody had to be saying Leal ain't the guy, because eventually they put him on the bench. So somebody had to be out there saying
he got his spot back. He got his spot back. Remember, because Lyle started in that playoff game.
He did get his spot back. He sure did.
Yeah, he got his spot back. When he came back from that little suspension, they put him right back in the spot over Terrence Steele.
Let me pivot something to ask y'all a question, because Lyle got his spot back. Schultz got his spot back. And then you hear McCarthy says things about guys in the locker room, and then they got rid of those guys later on. How much of that do y'all think is Kellen? And this is McCarthy, you know what I'm saying, making this his team.
I think
the offense wasn't picking. The offense wasn't picking up nobody though. They wasn't picking up nobody. We was going with what we had.
Steven and Jerry.
If I'm paying for something, I want my toy out there on the field.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
And I call that reverse cheap, Tuck. You know what I mean? That's reverse cheap. Mm-hmm. You know how sometimes we pay for something because we pay for it, we use it when we know we should just go and let the shit go. See, that's big.
We did the same thing with G.
Yep. It's reverse cheap because I paid for it. I'm gonna keep using it.
Right.
Instead of saying, you know what, this other thing cheaper but it's working better. Let me go with that. You know, you right. Yeah. See, you got me worried on that, Tuck. Like I was starting to sleep better until you said that, bro.
My bad. Go ahead. Hey, but go ahead and get Pitts, man. We ain't gotta worry about no tackle, man. We ain't gotta worry.
Hell no, bro. No, bro. Hell no. I ain't even getting on these defensive tackles, man. See, we promised people defensive tackle. We gonna give y'all that. All right, but we definitely want to start with the rumors and what was going on and different, and just kind of go back and forth on the thoughts on this. All right. So then, obviously, we got some of these defensive tackles. So obviously, somebody keep kind of messing up. I'm gonna be first on this one. Y'all ain't gonna even like me. I'm out. I'm out. Even if he go to 26, I'm out. And I ain't even scary. I'm not even scared. I'm not scared to take risks. On an all-in team and a contending team, I'm good. I don't. And my notes are fantastic on him. I spoke about him like ain't nobody better. You know what I mean? It's just too much, bro. So I know y'all hate that, but I'm just keeping it real, man. And I was that dude that was like Micah Parsons, like, let's go. But bruh, I'm getting Buster Douglas vibes. I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna let y'all be there. But I already know what's finna happen. Let me sit back. I'm gonna get back. I already know what's getting ready to happen. Let's go. I'm ready.
I'm just fantasizing seeing him in that Dallas Cowboy 88 jersey. That'd be so clean.
Douglas vibes.
Yeah, I ain't doing that to Jalen Carter, man. Everybody just playing the dirty game right now. You heard the Raiders kind of come out and say we completely taking them off our board. Cap. That's cap. You know what I'm saying?
The Raiders of all teams.
Yeah. Now the Raiders have more issues. Like, bro, get the hell up out of here, bro. Like,
they about to get Jalen Hyatt, bro.
When it comes to Jalen Carter, my only focus is keeping him away from 10 in Philadelphia. That's the main thing. I cannot let him go to Philadelphia. That's the main thing, because him and Jordan Davis, it's gonna be too nasty. So he going top 10. He going top 10. He's going top 10. Clearly, easily. This is all cap. He's going top 10. But if he's there at 26, you take that and you don't hesitate, bro. You don't hesitate.
You ain't gonna put that next to Hank, bro.
Hold on.
Jalen Carter, bro.
All athletic. Athletic.
Yeah, no. That's all in. That's all in, bro.
That's a chance I'm taking. That's a chance I'm taking at 26.
At 26, bro, you ain't gonna find a better player even when he got a shot.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that chance.
I agree.
That first round, then that'll just be the bus. We'll take that chance on that bus.
Yeah.
We'll take
Jerry gonna make all them problems go away, bro. You know that. We know that.
Problems go away.
We know that.
Want that type of dude in Dallas.
What type of dude? We mean
what?
Man,
what you mean? Michael Irvin was that type of dude.
It's snowballing bad, bro. It's snowballing bad.
Bro, our whole Super Bowl era was those type of players.
Our 2 second-round picks for the last 2 years with those type of players.
Okay,
let me explain.
You know how many red flags saying Williams had?
We need more red flag dudes, except for Kelvin
Hell
Joseph.
no. We need a certain type of red flag dude.
No, we need good red flag dudes. We need good red flag dudes.
That's a real red flag.
I take the Michael Parsons red
Joseph
flag.
had multiple
A locker room conflict.
Does this
Give me
guy
that
have
one.
multiple red flags? Has this guy been in trouble like that before? That's what I want to know.
No, he hasn't.
Let me tell you, because people asking why am I out, bro. It bothers the hell out of me, dog. I'm just being all the way honest. That first of all, I understand you celebrating, and then what happened. We still don't know any details majorly about that. Scouts would know, but we don't know the details. So I ain't really worried about that. What really messed me up is how you showed up to the combine. I understand that you mentally stressed. I get it. But how you showed up on the most important interview of your life, that gives me major Buster Douglas vibes.
Bro, but what happened?
Just hold on real quick. There are people that get the bag and disappear. I'm just being honest.
Well, same red flags.
David Irvin types, and David Irvin didn't even get the bag.
So when did that incident happen, boss? It happened after the national championship. Everything broke right before the combine.
I'm cool with that one.
I'm saying all the stuff about the arrest, the arrest happened right before the combine.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Hey, look, I'm here to tell you,
with the arrest. I'm just like, I need you to be mentally tough enough to put that behind you and get your ass ready for the most important interview.
Possibly getting arrested, bro. Like you find it's like if the police come to my house right now and they say we about to arrest you, and I got a job interview tomorrow in the morning, bro, I'm not gonna be prepared for that job interview.
I'm gonna kill that interview, boy. I'm
Hell no, bro.
I gotta have this job to beat the case. You better put two and two together. You know what I'm saying? I need the job to beat the case. Yes.
That happened right before the combine, bro. Like I can see if you said the pro day. Okay, maybe the pro day situation. Okay, I get that.
That's the one. Not the combine. My bad. The pro day. That's what I meant.
But here's the thing, though, boss. He a defensive lineman, dog. Here's the thing.
It was bad. You can't finish drills.
Hey, dog. All I need you to do is clog the hole and go here and there. That's all I need you to do, bro.
Pressure, bro.
But he does more than that.
He does way more than that.
I feel you, big game. But I'm saying, like, were we expecting him to just go out? If he didn't get arrested and he had them bad times, would you still be out?
No, I wouldn't be. Listen, the thing. I'll be cool with the arrest.
Only been one time,
though,
boss.
I would be. No, this is the thing. It's the arrest, and then after the arrest, you come in. See, because this is my thing. If you get arrested, you better ace the rest of this. You better ace it, and you fucked it up. Like,
but
bro,
you didn't know.
Like,
you
okay,
know,
you got arrested.
Life,
but then
I'm
go kill that pro day to make people say, okay, you know what? He took it serious.
I get what you're saying, boss.
He took it serious.
I totally understand where you're coming from, but I think it's like I said, it could be an immaturity thing in that aspect of, you know, maybe he didn't know how to handle it. Maybe he didn't have the right people speaking in his head. But in my opinion, if that's an isolated incident, that's what I'm saying. It's not habitual. If that's not her habitual thing, if you go back in his history and he has not been in trouble no time before that, I'm sorry, I can't lay one incident to him and say, oh, well, you might be a bust now just because you got in trouble one time. I can't do that.
How many dumbass teams?
If that's the case, I would agree.
But look at it. We got Sam Williams had multiple flags. You had Mossman, multiple flags. Hendershot, multiple flags. Turpin, multiple flags. Bro, if I'm ignoring any multiple flags with anybody, it's just
Micah had flags.
Micah had all kind of flags.
Okay, good case.
Micah had real flags.
I ain't gonna fight that one. That's a great case you just made. Because when you look at our history of ignoring red flags,
Randy Gregory, Lyle Collins,
we red flag king.
But see, I'm thinking about this on
Jones.
a contending team, bro. I'm like,
nah, bro.
That talent's too good.
We ignore so many.
I'm sorry, Tuck.
Y'all talk me into it. Y'all talk me into it.
I'm looking at you got a coach in Dan Quinn. I trust Dan Quinn.
Yeah.
I trust that when he sits and talks to you and he gets with you, he's gonna make you, and you get around those other guys. I feel like he has a huge influence. He's not just a coach. He helps you raise you to be a man. And I feel like the guys in that locker room help. So we don't pass on no talent like that, dog.
I'll say this on Cam.
This the deal, and I appreciate this. See, I want everybody to see this. Everybody to see this. Boss publicly got talked into something. I swear. Because I don't drop off if I feel like I'm winning or I'm making sense. But the more and more I listen, especially Tuck, when you broke down a history of taking risk. You know what I'm saying? And then when you add that to what Big said, which is we already have in the locker room that can maybe absorb this type of character. Because he wouldn't be the man coming into Dallas. He gonna be another rookie that's trying to earn his stripes on a D that got a lot of leaders. So from that standpoint, I feel that.
He's the one prospect I would trade up for and go get.
I feel
if
that.
He gets past 10, if he's
that
like,
good. See,
he's
Tuck,
that damn good.
Look at this was my notes on him. This is what I wrote about him. I said on Jalen, it's a must for the Dallas Cowboys to consider him if he dropped to 26. It could be a chance that it doesn't happen.
It's not happening.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Could this be the year that Dallas actually pick a first-round nose tackle that can be an anchor for the linebackers and strengthen the defense for years to come? So these are my notes, you know what I mean, before everything began to drop against him. So in terms of him as a player, I got way more than I said. I ain't write nothing as detailed on a player than him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I got detailed stuff too, but I feel you.
Yeah.
And also too, what I'll add to this, who's the highest paid tackle to play? Who just signed the biggest deal for tackles? Laramie Tunsil just signed a big deal as a tackle. Didn't he have a hiccup at the wrong time? How many dumbass teams wished that they stuck with what they were saying about him in the beginning? When it's an isolated incident and you have a really good player and you have a locker room around it. Because one thing we didn't talk about was that we got Dak Prescott, who's the leader of men in that locker room. Whether people want to believe Dak is an elite quarterback or not, people fall in line with Dak in there, and they love playing for that guy and with him. So
and not just Dak, the leaders in our defensive room. The leaders in our defense room. You know what I'm saying? You got J-Ron Curtis. You got, you know what I'm saying? You got one.
That defense loves each other.
And think about it. And think about this. Since Quinn has been there, I know we had the little hiccup with Kelvin Joseph getting in trouble, but think about it. When Rob Marinelli was there, remember all those guys that were getting in trouble under Rob Marinelli's watch? All the defensive players that were getting in trouble under his watch? I'm just saying, under Dan Quinn, it's just a different feel. It's a different vibe. And like you said, J-Ron Curse, those guys, especially Curse, he takes it serious. These guys don't play. Guys don't come in there and bring their whole effort. He coming on Twitter and saying, "Hey, you better get that shit together. We don't play that over here."
And that's the one thing. And that's the one of the differences. We got depth on our team, especially defensively, where it's like you can lose your job and we can move on perfectly fine without you. You know what I'm saying? So if something happens with Kelvin Joseph, we didn't miss no beat. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I like what we got. Dan Quinn's a good coach, and we got a solid core. Yeah, Jalen Carter would fit right in. It ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got me talking about Jalen Carter and Kyle.
Hey, you never know. You never know. Crazy things
CeeDee Lamb wasn't supposed to happen.
Hey, we didn't think Lamar Jackson was going to drop all the way to the second round.
That was 17. That was 7. Like, unless there's something with his medicals. Now, if we can kind of forge some documents.
You never know. We might be sitting there. You remember we thought Vita Vea wasn't going to get close. Y'all remember that? He was 2 spots from us. We thought, what was that linebacker that went to Buffalo?
Tremaine Edmonds.
We was all like, he gonna be gone. And he was, 3 spots from us?
Derwin James, too. Derwin
James. Yeah, so
you've seen tons of
the
drafts,
draft is
but
stupid. Like,
let's hope the free fall happens.
Yeah,
please,
man.
Let the free fall happen.
But
I think Miles Murphy could drop.
I do want to let everybody know. Y'all did talk me into it, and this is the thing. This is the good thing about debates. This is why you want to debate. This is why you want to go back and forth, and you want to be open while you going back and forth. Because I could have just hung on what I believe, but I'm open. I'm listening to these smart dudes really make the case, and I walked away like, shit, I'm with it. Like, and I mean it, like dead ass. All right, next.
Hit that applause button for Jalen Carter, man. You can't give him the.
You want me to give him applause?
Yeah, bro. You can't be giving Jalen Carter no boo boo button, bro.
Yeah.
You call him applause.
You did. He needs a
call him Buster Douglas, bro.
Apologize. Give him a yoga fire. Yoga flame.
This is a war room discussion, bro. We gotta have these real candid discussions, bro. It ain't peanuts and bubble gum. I gotta say, hey man, what if this dude is Buster Douglas?
Greg Hardy. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Red flags. We brought Josh Brent back on the team.
I'm with
Sam Williams was out doing the same thing. He didn't miss no games. Not one game.
Let's see. Man, that pro day, but I'm cool with it though. Hey, listen, if y'all put y'all careers on the line, I'm with you. I'll be the one dude. If he get in trouble, I'll be like, see, I tried.
It's a lot of trouble with Dallas too, bro.
I just set y'all up to throw y'all under the bus later. I just want to be that person. If he don't work, I'm gonna be like, see. But if he work, I'm gonna be like, see, I came around. I win both ways.
He'll give him that baby.
Stay out of ecstasy, bro. Stay out of ecstasy.
Big, I win both ways. That's shady. That's shady. All right, let's keep going. Bingo.
Mozzie.
I got a second round.
He'll be available for 58. Just like the,
he
just
got
like the
58
number.
on his jersey.
He got the number. Hey, there it is. Come on over.
Hey, check this out.
Mozzie.
I'm gonna read my notes on him. All right. I didn't give him even 1 star, dog.
Ooh, I can see why.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna read my notes.
I'm hyped on him because I'm scared of defensive tackles from Michigan.
Ohio State.
He said, "Boss, don't give in. What GA guys come in balling with hype?" Nah, I give in. Coach. I give in, Coach. I do, because what they saying also confirms what I put in my notes in terms.
I mean, some running backs came in with the hype.
And they did address it. They addressed my concerns. They did. You know what I mean? I'm just being honest. They addressed my concerns, and they did a good job. And I concede. I really do. So, but on Mazzy, let me read my notes. I said, Mazzy is a bohemian of a human being. You can definitely see the push and the power when he's at the point of attack. And you know he works his trench warfare. Yet, I wouldn't want the Dallas Cowboys to get him because of his motor is extremely low. His pursuit to the ball is horrible. The only way that I would even be interested if he had a Rob Marinelli coach, because that's the only type of person that I could trust to get 100% out of his pursuit to the ball. He is too big, too massive, too strong, too freakish to run with that bad of pursuit. And I'm putting him in the boss cap of God only because of his freakish ability. I wouldn't even want to consider him to the third, though he's a first-round talent. God, that's what I wrote. That's what I wrote from my initial notes. So what I'm saying from that is I definitely see his talent. And so I took another look at him from all the hype I was hearing. I'm just being honest, right? And I did see where the hype is coming from, that Ohio State game. You know what I'm saying? That Ohio State game is where you can see him much better in terms of his pursuit, his passion. But
I don't like that though, Paul.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Right,
because that's a rival game. It took a rival game to bring that out of you. I want you to be that dude because you that dude.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like he picked his battles because when he was up against them tackles, they like I said, them Ohio State tackles, they made many of men quit. And I seen him put his ass down a couple times in that game when he was lined up against them tackles.
He was. He showed crazy power against them tackles.
You think so? Because I seen him get put down. I seen him get put down. I
thought
it was the guards he looked good against.
I saw the power against them tackles. I didn't see him get put down. I'll go look again. I just probably missed it. You know what I'm saying? You saying they pancaked him? They got him real good?
Man, I want to say Paris put his ass. I want to say Paris put his ass
That
down.
was Paris, though.
But see, here's my thing, fellas. Here's my thing, fellas. Since, excuse me, since Quinn has gotten there and since McCarthy has gotten there, right? Ogadazul went in the third. Goldston was maybe flex, and then you have Bohannon in the sixth, right? And then last year you had Ridgeway in the fifth, right? And I'm thinking like they're not going to go for a defensive tackle earlier than the third. We haven't seen that yet.
Right.
Good point. Excellent point. Especially with Sonny Hankins back. Especially with
Hankins back. I don't think that defensive tackle is going to be touched until that third round, right? In my opinion.
Yeah, and also, I'll probably cut it here in a few days, but go watch Mozzie versus Steve Avila. It'll give you a whole different feel about all that power because Esteban was in there handling that boy. So yeah, I just don't think that, you know, I understand the Mozzie hype because a lot of Cowboys fans were just feeding for a nose tackle. He's probably the first name that came up, and that's kind of what sparked it. But especially with Hankins re-signing, like you said, big games, like I don't see the urgency to reach that early, you know, because there's a lot of guys. And one of my favorite prospects, man, this is my pet cat, man. One of my boo things is Javon Dexter out of Florida. Now, this is a kid, man. He's about 6'5", 310, can run a 4.8, do a lot of different things, man. And he can actually get pressure all over the field. So
hold on real quick, Tuck. Spell his name for me. I'm gonna pull him up.
Javon, Gervon, Dexter, Dexter, out of the University of Florida.
You said GR?
Yeah,
GER.
He's a big boy.
Yeah, he's like 6'6"
too. Yeah,
6'6", like 310.
Yeah, I like that. I like that sleeper tuck. I like Javon a lot.
This kid is not. You know, if you're watching it on my channel, he's on my thumbnail, man. And I got a film session for him. I love this kid, bro.
Here's my pet cat at defensive tackle. Well, my fun guy, not the popular guy. I just happened to see him. I saw him on Twitter, and then I seen him. I was just looking through some stuff. Keanu Benton from Wisconsin.
Okay.
Defensive tackle.
Okay.
I like him, dog. He is. Oh, he gets after it, dog, and he gets after it in the middle. He's 6'4". He's about 310. Good size arms. He can pressure. He can push that pocket. He's got a really good motor. And this is a guy that you could get him later on too. You know, you can get him in those after the third round. That's a guy that you could get later on. So that's my fun guy right there.
Are we giving up pet cats now?
I'm
just giving out my pet cats.
I got my
pet cats. I was like,
I'm
starting pet
I'm
anxious.
My guy Dexter ain't being talked about enough, man.
I'm gonna skip you, DMV, because you know I'm gonna go ahead and use producer privilege.
That's who's your pet cat?
Ain't that
who's your pet cat?
Go ahead, bro.
Who is it?
Go ahead, bro.
This dude's name is Nesty, bro.
Okay.
He's to me the most underrated defensive tackle.
Watch him.
He is to me the most underrated defensive tackle. I put it like this: he the only defensive tackle I gave 4 stars to.
Woo.
Wow.
And put it like this: I put 4 stars by only 2 candidates in the whole Boss Cowboy guide. I swear to God, bro. I swear to God. Like, I put it like this because, you know, obviously we was researching today. All of us, right? We researching because some of us, y'all like me, we reviewed these people a long time ago, but when we know we go do the show, we come right back and we review our notes, review the film, just to make sure we not tripping, right?
Right.
I got 4 stars by this dude, right? I went back and looked at it again. I said, damn, my eyes good. Because I said, I did not miss. You gotta check him out, bro. And this is the thing, the CBS has him so low to where it don't make sense. This dude motor is stupid. And I'm talking about
at Arizona State, or is he at Miami?
He was at Miami and he transferred to Arizona State.
Okay.
I think
his Miami tape bananas. His Arizona State tape bananas. I have no idea how he not a first rounder. I'm just being honest. I have no idea. I'm like, do you got some in your background that I don't know? You know what I'm saying? Check them out. Tell me, y'all let me know if I'm tripping. And I know y'all gonna be honest with me. I know y'all gonna tell me the truth.
I need to go back and watch him, bro.
Let me ask y'all this though. If we're talking about defensive tackle, we just re-signed Hankins, right? We lost Carlos Watkins. You still got Bohanna back. This is 3rd year. We always talk about, and now I understand about Bohanna, but we always still talk about big man. It takes him a little bit longer, right? So this is going his 3rd year. You got Gallimore. You hear about him possibly being traded or whatever. Now we're talking about the defensive tackle. Are they going to go for a 0 or 1 over the nose, or are they going to go for somebody who's more like a 3 who can attack?
I feel like it's more
glad
3,
you said that.
5.
I'm glad you said that.
I want a 1.
And I think you still can get a 1.
I think you can.
Y'all want a 1? Y'all want a straight just 1?
1. That's what I want.
Okay.
Me,
I want both.
Well, yeah.
I want both. I think we could double up.
Let's hear the case. Let's start.
That's why I like the Benton kid. That's why I like the Benton dude.
Let me go. Let's go around that.
I feel like he does that.
Let's fight that out. You first. I want to hear your case.
Okay, so I had 2 pet cats because you skipped me in line. I was going to get 2.
I told you, man. Producer privilege.
Yeah. So my pet cat is Adi Tamawa Adebare out of Northwestern, who they have him as an edge, but I think he's really a 3. I think he's really a 3. Guy with a crazy motor. If you watch his Ohio State tape, like normally Ohio State's line kill people. Like he was making the tackles. He was giving them hell. Like that was really good tape for him. He tore the combine up. Adi Tamawa.
Good luck. Good luck with that one.
Yeah, I'm about to say I sent it in the chat. I sent it in the chat in the second round grades that I have.
ADETONIWA ADEB.
I found
A. Okay.
Yeah. When you watch his tape, boss, you're gonna love him. He plays strong point of attack, all of that, bro. Like, I mean,
he 280. So he gonna be a 3.
Yeah, I think he's a 3, personally.
Okay, yeah, 3.
But he's a tweener in between. So, you know, I think he's more of a 3. But to talk about your 1, there's a guy that nobody's really talking about, but he had a hell of a Senior Bowl, had some really good tape. Zach Pickens out of South Carolina. He's hell, bro.
He one of mine too, bro.
Hell.
Yep.
He was giving everybody hell.
Yeah. He a sleeper for me too. Yeah, I got him 4th on my sleeper list for DT.
And there's also another guy, I think he met with the Cowboys today, was Jay Quillen Roy out of LSU. So he's another big, fat, nasty. So there's a lot of fat, nasty nose tackles out there. Another one that I'm high on is Keandre Coburn out of Texas. He's just another big, fat, nasty nose tackle. Like I said, but now since we got
Texas got another kid too.
They got
who's the other kid?
Moro Jomo.
Yeah, I kind of like his tape a little bit. He kind of a fire hydrant.
He's 73 on the CBS list. So
yeah, Moro Jomo. Yeah, Moro Jomo's nice. He's more your run stopper. He has a high motor though. He's a technician. So
yeah, I got 2 stars on him. Tuck.
Okay, Moro. Yeah, I like Moro, man.
I got 2 stars on both of them. I got 2 stars on both those Texas boys. So,
see, that's what I mean, though. When we look at this draft, I mean, even defensive tackle, we can find somebody in them later rounds that you just mentioned. Tuck Roy, he's I like Roy, and they have that LSU connection. And Roy is starting to come up. If people are sleeping on him, he's starting to come up, dog. He's got a lot of good traits, a lot of athletic ability, strong at the point of attack. He's like coming up on boards, and people are sleeping on him. And I think he could be a sneaky pick if the Cowboys go after him as well. So I think the Cowboys could really work these defensive tackles, especially in those mid rounds.
Right, not the reach.
Real quick, they asking us about the hold on real quick. Let me pull it up. South Carolina, that's Zach Pickens. Z-A-C-C-H Pickens.
Pickens.
I got 2 stars about him. And my note says Zeke and Pickens is the first off the ball every time. Very good push at the point of attack. Occasionally he has struggled with double teams, but for the most part he held at the point. He looks like a younger version of Jonathan Hankins. He's more athletic though, like real talk, you know.
Yeah, he's more athletic.
He's more athletic.
He's like 305, right?
Yeah,
right. And Hankins is like 340.
Yeah. So just imagine the younger Hankins. If that don't get you excited, nothing will. Just be honest.
But I don't think we touch a D tackle until the 3rd round.
I'm with you.
And it's looking like, from what we talking about, that it's some real good 3rd rounders.
Yeah, you don't have to.
And we ain't even bring up Aka yet, man.
Not even 3rd rounders, just day 3 guys. You know what I'm saying?
Right, there's
you
guys
can solve
we can
this, bro. Like if it come down to defensive tackle, a tackle, stop playing. Stop playing. At 26? Nah, bro, I ain't doing this shit, dog.
Yeah, we're not 26.
No, hell no. You don't. Once you brought back Hankins, they probably weren't going to do it anyway. But once you brought down Hankins, that shut down the door for all that.
Yeah.
Right.
And then check this out. I want to show y'all one more thing too, just about like Mozzie. You know what I'm saying? So this is the key thing that's why I want to pull up. I'm gonna still try to pull it up big because you raised this point. But I do understand Mozzie, because I could see, and I said this myself, you can see the explosion off of him. The power is crazy. I hate his motor. I can't stand it. But see, when you use the CBS guide, right, just to get a clue of where people should be, even if I like a player, sometimes it's about what's the best chance of me getting this player. This is what I mean. The Cowboys had Diggs and CeeDee Lamb rated around the same. But according to the CBS, they had CeeDee Lamb as a top 20. Diggs they had as a bottom 1st, 2nd round guy. So even though the Cowboys had them rated as equal in terms of their grade, their best chance of getting Diggs and CeeDee Lamb was to start with CeeDee Lamb and hope Diggs fall. And that's what happened. That same strategy happened with Sam Williams and Tolbert. You know what I mean? They had equal grades on Sam Williams and Tolbert, but Sam Williams, according to this type of list, was more than likely to be gone. That's what Big was talking about. So they picked Sam Williams and they gambled Tolbert. To me, that's what you do with a Mozzie, right? And let's say even if you lose Mozzie, look who graded right there with him.
Right. See, I get.
Yeah, it's others. You know what I'm saying? You know, obviously, I do think Mozzie is a better athlete, but I wouldn't be mad at that at the second.
And that's your big nasty nose right there. Even though he's kind of a two down.
I was gonna say, how you feel about his motor or his gas tank at least?
I like it way better than Mozzie.
Who?
I agree with you. I was just asking the question for consistency. That's all.
Yeah, I like his motor way better than Mozzie, and I
like him as a player better. I like him as a player.
Yeah, he's that big nasty Samoan. Yeah,
I like you need some Samoan. Always got motor.
Yeah, he gonna come in and do his job.
I want a Samoan.
Hey, y'all want Samoan?
What's Samoan in the middle? Don't you see ever play hard?
What?
Right.
I call that dude Baby Vita Vale, bro. I ain't playing.
Me? Yeah. They don't never play around.
He was at LSU, I believe. Yeah. So
probably related to The Rock and Roman Reigns or something.
But that's my point though. Like when you look around, like I can like a player, but shit, I don't want to reach for you. I don't. And I can like you. I can be like, damn, I want you. But if I'm gonna try to get 2 players, I'd rather go with that player we need first. Give me like a DeJuan Jones. Give me a Broderick Jones. You know what I'm saying? And then I say, all right, let me take it. Because in my opinion, honestly, I would rather go tackle guard round 1, then go right back to the trenches in round 2 because of the type of talent that might be sitting there. You see what I'm saying? When you look at Saki, and then there's other DTs that's ranked around.
Also, Thule's not being talked about enough. I mean, DMV talked about Thule Tupolota out of USC. So another Samoan, man. You know what I'm saying?
My
Gonna get up
God,
there,
I love him, bro.
do his job, set his edge. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, look. Hey, y'all gonna look back at the list that I was putting out early. Hey, y'all gonna look at the list that I was putting out early and be like, yo, DMV was on one early as hell.
I like that. I like that list that you, the one that you DM'd us.
No, that one too. But I was talking about the edge joint, which Thule had all them boys on there, bro. Like,
that was a good ass list. Some tears.
Yeah.
It's a great D-line draft. Remember, I was telling you, boss, and you was like, "Oh, that's that." I was like, "No, the quality of the edges that are in here, it's not like the over the top, but the quality of edges that are here is
good.
very, very good. Very good quality.
Edge is good. Another guy, because I know we kind of just tackling defensive line, we just kind of taking it. When y'all mention guys that I might not have B-rolls here, just slow it down so I can show the people what we talking about.
I'm out.
You out?
I'm out too.
Yeah, I'm out.
Okay. Oh, we're not doing him.
Yeah.
What about that Keon White kid? What about that Keon White kid from Georgia Tech?
I like him, bro. I think he needs some coaching. I think he needs some coaching.
We need to go back real quick. Wait. That was a unanimous. We out.
Yeah, you can go ahead and get the womp womp.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
womp. That boy didn't even start at Iowa, bro. He got
bro. When I was watching Iowa tape and I couldn't find him, that was a red flag.
Yeah, bro. I was trying to cut up film on. I was like, bro, where is he at? You know what I'm saying? I get fat. Hey, he just that dude that looks like a football player. So someone gonna be like, I'll roll with him. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. He looked like if we at the rec center, we picking a football team, that dude walk up, built like a Greek god. I'm just gonna roll with him. I'm sure he can play. Bro,
Iowa got some better defensive linemen than him though. They probably ain't coming out this year, but they got some youngins over there. They do.
That man wrote the pine.
Cool.
You know what I'm saying?
I ain't hating.
I'm listening.
I just don't trust it. I'm a public enemy on him. Can't trust it. Where? Can't trust it. No.
And I'll say this about him. I'll say this about him and his homeboy Jack back there too. Like
y'all vicious as hell.
They just
now he did get super swallowed up versus Ohio State, like invisible.
Them boys don't play.
Jack wear lineman cleats, bro.
Yeah, bro. Jack Campbell be out there playing in Birdman lugs, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, what are you? That boy Jack Campbell, bro. I mean, he
but DMV.
What's up?
That dude Keon White, I had just checked him out like a couple days ago. Man, just like you said, if he gets some really good coaching, then Dan Quinn would be the perfect guy to coach him.
Yeah, agreed. Yes.
That dude is huge. He's 6'5", like 285, 290 dog, and he got it.
Get off. That get off and that bend, bro. Yeah,
he got it for that size, bro. He got it. He just need coaching because he came in at Old Dominion as a tight end, so you know he's got the athletic ability. Man, get some good coaching on him. He could be a player.
Well, break down Keon White if you don't mind, Big. You know, break him down. Because I'm looking at my notes too. I'm gonna look at my notes on Keon White. But go ahead.
The biggest thing that I noticed about him already, just like DMV said, is he's got great bend and athleticism for his size. I mean, he's a real 285. You feel what I'm saying? He's huge. And when you talk about motor, he's got a motor. Like he don't stop. He does not quit on the plays. And he's got a counter move. So if he can come in with, let's say, if you stop his first move, he can do another move outside of his move to where it's not where he can just be stopped on the initial move. When you see a lot of these guys come in, when you stone them on, let's say they have a bull rush, you stone them on the bull rush, they don't have a second counter move. He has an outside move instead of his first move, so he can get you with that. big bully guy. He can push you back in the pocket. I just like what he can really bring to the table. And like I said, he played on the offensive end first. He came in as a tight end, so that tells me he's clearly athletic enough. And if you could just get a coach that can really hone in on his talent and really get him to be a consistent player, I think you get a guy that's going to be good. Maybe not early, but down the line, that's somebody who's going to be really good for you down the line.
Or someone like Dan Quinn who loves to coach and loves to teach, that this is the perfect mold of clay. You know what I'm saying? Like he has all the intangibles, he has all the traits that you would want in kind of a defensive lineman. Dan Quinn, like he loves that spin move too. He uses that spin move a lot, man. Yeah. So it's like if you want to, I would say, would y'all probably say day 3? I would say probably for him.
I got third round on him. So I got third round.
Yeah, I think he's getting a lot of buzz. I think I'm going with you. Yeah, I feel where you're at, Tuck, as far as his ability. You should probably draft him later, but his buzz is pushing him like a Sam Williams, where he's going to probably get drafted earlier.
Yeah,
I got him third, fourth, but I got him about middle third, so I put third.
That makes sense. Yeah, so if he's getting some buzz, he might just grab him because he might not make it to day 3. So
yep. Yeah. So my note said White is a quality defensive end who fits the 3-4 mode more than obviously a 4-3 mode, hand in the ground defensive end. I said you don't see the game speed, but you see the quality setting of the edge. I said you really don't see the game speed, but at the same time, I can see him being developmental under Dan Quinn, which is exactly what you said, J Tuck. The good news is that CBS also got him graded at around 57. So I'm putting a second. I already had a second and third round grade. You put a second and third round grade. Big put a second and third round grade. So all of us are ranging him around the same. So I think the analysis got to be right because it's our first time talking about him together, you know what I'm saying? But we still rating him around the same point. So,
hey, boss, check out my notes. You about to laugh. Big with solid get off, plays very strong, not really explosive, but he uses his strength to his advantage and does have counter moves. But his counter moves are a tick slow, as if he's kind of thinking about them, but he has them. Proper coaching can help him refine. Can get high at times, but his strength makes up for it.
Exactly. So we all seeing the same thing. We said it different, but we seeing the same thing, that he need work. He needs work.
The project.
It's a good project.
But he's a good project. He's got a very high ceiling, high floor.
Kind of like Dorrance Armstrong whole time though, because if you watch Dorrance needed some refining, but he was a really solid player.
Yeah. But he don't have this athletic ability though.
He don't got the bend. He don't got the bend that he got. He don't got that spin move.
And especially at that size, that dude's almost 290 pounds, dog.
But if he was a tight end, he might just need more reps. So that just might be what it really is, you know?
Right.
I got more.
There you go. There your edge rushing your tight end. There you go.
I have one more question, and I'm gonna make this fast. Should we go free agent to replace Carlos Watkins, or should we go draft? I'm thinking free agency. we was on the same. We went different that quick. All right, so Poona Ford is available at free agency. Calais Campbell, Ashawn Robinson, and Jordan Phillips.
Calais Campbell got picked up, didn't he?
Oh, he did?
I thought he got picked up by Atlanta.
My fault. So that's how.
Ashawn Robinson.
Ashawn will be on my list. And remember, that was one of my free agency guys that I put there because former first round pick Stephen Jones special. But that would have to be after the draft. I'll see what we end up with in the draft, and if we don't feel like we adequately, you know what I'm saying, hit that need, then you know what I'm saying.
Because you could probably work
making a phone call.
Why you say draft, Tuck? Why you say draft? And I tell you,
because it's like what DMV says. Like we're getting close, but we less than 30 days away, so we can kind of go in because the guys that are sitting there, they're probably going to be sitting there post draft anyway. So you can kind of go in the draft. There's a lot of defensive prospects you can get from the defensive line standpoint, so you can see what you get. And if you got a hold of the field, then go sign one of those guys. So I just wouldn't make a move right now. So
okay, so I'm saying who you want to probably start. Who do you want to trust in the season? That's my question.
As far as what we currently have?
So who do you want to trust in terms of in the trenches? Drafting a guy or free agent? That's my question. That wasn't clear. You still trust the draft pick? Okay.
Yeah, I trust draft pick.
I want to go free agent. Let me tell you why. And tell me, because I admitted when I was wrong, so I'm open to be wrong on this. All right. But I'm gonna tell y'all, and I want to hear everybody out on this. I want to go free agent because, from my analysis, it takes about 3 years for most defensive tackles to really get their man weight to be able to really sustain those trenches. So and remember, most of what I'm thinking is trying to assume that the Dallas Cowboys are all in, right? So in an all-in year, I want us to kind of overpay for defensive tackle and get a proven guy over a rookie because I don't want to wait for that development. I need it now. And that's why I said, remember I said in the beginning of the show, it's going to be a battle sometimes between developing guys and right now guys in terms of this draft strategy. So,
well, see, my pushback would be we already have our front line thus far. So I feel like Chauncey Golson's getting his man body. Osa's kind of getting his man body. So they're growing. Yep. So they're going to be your front
layer.
None
of those are one text, though. None of those are ones.
Then you got Hankins, and then you got Bohanna.
Yeah, Hankins is the one.
He developing them two. I do like that.
Yes. So I feel like you got your front. I feel like for the Cowboys standpoint,
you don't want to go. You don't want to go one more quality one tech. Get Neville out of here.
I feel like I can get one in the draft though.
I don't trust no young boo-boos. I just don't. Like in terms of because
how you not going to trust a young defensive tackle, but you going to trust a young offensive tackle?
Because our track record with young offensive tackles, as well as Duke, as well as the offensive line room. So when you got an offensive line room with Zach Martin, with Tyler Smith now, who gonna be treated like a veteran, and then T. Smith, so I like the leadership to handle a young tackle, and he go rise likely with that whole tide. But with these defensive tackle, you just need to develop because it's warfare in and out all day long. And this is my example. Just a perfect example would be Osa. Remember how he broke out year one and he was on fire? You know what I'm saying? Fizzled out. Because you got to develop, to me, in my opinion, the girt to be able to handle that weight day in, day out, game in, game out.
But Dan Quinn likes to rotate anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
so you just trust these young bulls.
Yeah, I do. I do.
We go just differ on this one, Tucker. That's okay. That's cool though. I just wanted to get your thoughts on it. Did anybody else want to try to slap me? Because I know.
I'm actually gonna go ahead, DMV.
I'm kind of with Tuck on this one because I do think that we have the guys in. I think that where we're talking about getting a defensive tackle, he's more so going to be a rotational guy anyway. And if we're talking about getting a one technique, like we signed Hankins to a 1-year deal to where he's training that guy. So I don't really think any of these guys are going to come in here and start for where they're going to be drafted. If you're talking about drafting, if you're talking about starting day one, which I don't think they will.
It's not even about if they start, D. I just don't want them to get their ass pushed whenever they get rotated.
Well, you got to get pushed in order to learn. You have to.
I don't want no learning. I don't want no learning. I want boys who've learned. I want like a Sean. I want a Jordan Phillips. I didn't know Campbell was gone, but I want somebody that's just stirred.
I do like Jordan Phillips. I love Jordan Phillips, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. And
I understand what you're saying.
That's a veteran person that can play the 1 and the 3. You know what I mean?
But understand this though about the market. So we talked about this on the phone earlier. If I sign you before the draft, your market and where you stand is a lot higher than after the draft. So let's put our Cowboys hats on for a second and think how they think. They're thinking, okay,
draft them.
Let's draft C,
let
and then
that value drop.
Cheaper.
Right. I'm with that. I'm with that. Perfect. See, we compromising today. That's the fucking
there we go.
Right there, bro. So I'm talking about. All right, man. So we gonna get into these final words because see, today we took a turn. We talked about defensive tackle, man, and defensive line. We threw it all together. I still want to hear the OC's case on Andrew Carter. So for everybody that's just rocking with us on this show, I want to hear the case. I still want. Wait.
He looked like. Hey, my man looked like. He looked like basketball. He looked like football.
Now.
He looked like football. Juwan Howard.
Wait, for real. Wait.
He needs some milk.
You can't handle the truth.
So, Yeah, I want to hear the case. But most of us got concerns on their strength, and he gonna have to make his case. So I can't wait to hear this. You know, he's celebrating his anniversary all week. We all understand that the misses go always come first. We get that. So whenever the OC comes back from his vacation, he might take the month off. Who knows how long love takes? Who cares? We got this if he don't come back. But we want you back, dog, because you gotta defend this, dog. We waiting. We are waiting, dog. So anyway, so I want to hear from that. But getting into the final words, man, I'm gonna go ahead and kick it off. With this defensive tackle, I see it as more so day 2. I do. I see day 2. I like the excitement for trench work. I like that most of us are thinking trench first this year, whether it's the offensive side or defensive side. But that's also goes to say, in my opinion, how good of a job front office is doing, right? Because at this point, we all feel like we patching holes. You know what I mean? We feel like we patching holes and we trying to get the last of it right. And when the last of it right is when you go on to look at the foundation on both sides, that's a good sign, in my opinion, of where we stand for the Dallas Cowboys. I think this is a fantastic free agency, man. And matter of fact, let me tell y'all something. I've been seeing them likes is way down. Everybody, do all of us a favor. Go to DMV channel. Go to my channel, Boss Cowboy Sports. Go to Go to J-Tuck channel and go to Big Game and hit that like. You know what I'm saying? Share this content, you know. But my final words is, I love the defensive tackle room, but I really want us to handle in free agency. But if we end up getting these young bulls, I'm going to be ready for us to ride. That's my final word.
Yeah, my final word, man, the Cowboys have done a great job this offseason, you know, keeping players in-house, also getting outside acquisitions and getting help. But, you know, I'll say this, man, I don't care about them tackles in this draft. I don't care about the defensive tackles, the cornerbacks, quarterbacks. Go get me Kyle Pitts, man.
Do it, damn it. What do we even do it?
The Pitts train, we back, baby. Salute to my guy, DMV. He's in the front seat with me. We got this Pitts train fired up, man. All aboard. We about to get this thing popping on Twitter. As soon as I wake up in the morning, y'all brace yourselves to prepare for impact, because we right back, like my guy Rome says, back like we never left, man.
You done gave Tuck the ideal. No. Shit.
Yeah, man. The train continues. The saga continues.
Oh,
man.
damn.
I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate my brothers, man. Good draft conversation as normal, man. We're going deep. We could have kept going. We can go 6 rounds, 7 rounds, but this is the power of this community, man. The power of what we're doing is to be able to talk about a lot of prospects and cover a lot of our bases, man. So I appreciate y'all guys. Keep rocking. That's my final word. Pitch train.
Pitch train. He's serious, too. He is dead ass.
I'm about to put them shirts back in the merch store, man. I'm about to re-upload them shirts, man.
He is not lying, bro. He is telling the truth. Why you do that, DMV? It's your fault.
Well, yeah, man. First and foremost, man, as I always do, man, I appreciate y'all gentlemen for allowing me to, you know, speak my truths on this platform, man. And, you know, I'm thankful to be a part of this show, because we are the trendsetter. What we talk about, it ends up on articles. Everybody ends up following the trend. So I appreciate being a part of this trendsetter, first and foremost. Second, man, they're talking about these D linemen. You know, we went over the edges earlier on. Today, we went more so into the interior. We went into more detailed notes about guys. And just know, man, this is an excellent D-line draft. Excellent D-line draft. And I think we could double up at the position. Like I said, I would like to get a 1 and a 3. And maybe we look at a free agent after, and we looking at, see, I'm all about getting guys off the roster. You know what I'm saying? I'm all about getting guys off the roster to get better. And I believe that this draft allows us to do so. We're about as deep, D linemen are about as deep as the running back class. And this is probably the best running back class that I've ever seen, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's dope.
You know, not cream of the crop, but as far as depth, and I feel the same way about the D linemen. Yeah. And on the last note, man, tight ends, man. For the people talking about taking tight ends high, man, find a way to get off that, man. Get off that train. Yeah. And unless we talking about Kyle Pitts with our 26th pick, it just doesn't make sense with all of this talent that we're talking about today and what we're going to talk about in the future. But I appreciate y'all, man. I'm out.
Shit. What a final word.
Yeah.
Hey, and real quick, man, we, it's just appropriate for the OG to close us out, man. You know what I'm saying? I got big respect for the homie now. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Y'all don't call him if you don't call him the small talk. It won't go well.
Yeah, I got some friends who they be like, "Dog, I don't even like you because you don't answer your phone." But that's okay. It's okay. It's real. I do it to everybody, so don't feel bad.
Hey, man, let me tell them real quick how
nobody is. I do it to everybody.
Listen, I would literally like call my boy Big maybe like once every 2 months just to talk ball. I just be like, I just want to talk ball with the homie. So I'm going through my phone. I call him. I'm laughing before he pick up because I say when he pick up, he gonna say, "Hello," and I swear to God, as soon as my boy picked up, he said, "What's up, boss?" Go ahead, now, fight a word.
You know what you got to say, boss.
Say it. Get on.
Make it. Hey, my final word is, once again, had another great time with you guys. Like I said, touching the knowledge, learning more, listening to you guys, always understanding and learning new things. That's what I really love about it. But, what I really feel about, when you're talking about the defensive tackle position and just the positions as a whole, Dallas is going to have a good draft. I feel it. They're going to have another good draft. They've been having, really good drafts, the last few, especially with Mike McCarthy. And I think it goes something with a good cohesion. Not having Kellen Moore there this year, I think it does help because now I feel like you have Dan Quinn, you have Mike McCarthy, you have Will McClay. All those guys look like they're all going to be on one mind and one accord. So I feel like you're really going to see some really good draft stuff going on because the continuity and the togetherness of the coaching staff, I feel like is really going to help in this draft. So I'm really excited to see what they're going to pick. And I really feel like we don't have to jump out there and go high on a defensive tackle. There's positions that are going to be open that we can get. Yeah. And I'm just excited to see what's going to happen because it feels good to see that you have the draft and you don't have to go in there with those needs. It feels so much better when you don't have to feel like you have to reach and go after a player because you feel like you have a certain need. Now you can go in there real comfortable, and I think Cowboys are going to have another good draft, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen in this season. Hey, I love being a Cowboy.
Big game, James.
Game changer.
Let's have some fun. Let's have a good time, man. Let's kick it.
That was the final word, man, with the DMV, with the tuck, with Big Game James and Boss. Let's go.
Yeah, I just wanna run it up. Count a check or something. I've been really in the field, let up, yeah.
Good show, fellas.
Excellent. I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel lately. I just
what we talking next week, linebacker? We didn't even talk linebacker, bro.
We'll get to it.
Or lack thereof.
And if it was up to me,
I wanted the DMV to talk about that today.
It would probably go a little something like this.
We'll get to it.
And with the 17th pick
of
the 2020 Dallas Cowboys NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select CeeDee Lamb. Oh!
It's like the best clip ever, dog.
I will move down.
The smart thing would be to move down, but the Cowboys historically don't.
Boss could be a trade down here with Justin.
Man, it's so easy to work with y'all, man. I just want to say that real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I love
natural,
working.
bro.
It's natural, bro. Because I saw Foots the King with Sky, right? And I just shot Foots a tweet. Like, it's obvious when people love it. You know what I'm saying?
Are we still live?
Yeah, we still live.
Okay.
I'm just talking while we live, but I'm just saying. You funny, Tuck. Yeah. But it was. I just want to say this though, real quick. whether you agree with us or not, because we all go back and forth, it's one thing you can see from Big, you can see from DMV, Tuck, myself, and then I'm also say for sure Foots. You can see the passion, whether you agree or not, right? With some of the things that we all might say or differ on. The one thing that I love about doing shows with y'all is that everybody passionate about this and everybody work hard. I just want to say that real quick as we was kind of cutting out.
Right. Everyone.
Yeah. Shout out to the homie Foots, bro. Foots. I'm gonna tell you something. I got a funny story about Foots, man. When I first met him, I went on the draft the bus tour with Mark Holmes a couple years ago. So me and Foots, we got real close because we had to ride that long ass bus ride. That dude, when I tell you he has notes on top of notes before he get online and stuff, like I learned a lot from him, dog. So shout out to Foots.
Yeah, and the thing I also just respect about you that I don't think we talk about enough, DMV and Big, y'all background in coaching. We don't talk about that enough. You know what I mean? That's
I probably should do more content on that.
Yeah, none of us talk about that adds the value to YouTube. You know what I mean? So, and I hear it when y'all talk. I can hear the coaching nuance out of you boys. So I just want to say that as we're getting out of here.
Touchdown like the end zone. When the circle turn to my home, can't get me out of my zone. Go hard, go hard, go home, go hard.